Hello guys, and welcome to the 18th lesson of the HTML tutorial series, where we're going to be talking about classes and IDs. Now before we go on, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button for future uploads. Okay, so what is a class? In the end of the previous lesson, we said that we wanted to add some divs, let's say 5, in our last main div with an ID of d3. Okay, meaning we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divs here. So let's say that we want our divs, our nested divs, our smaller ones, to inherit the width of its parent of d3, which is this one, the right column, and have a height of, let's say, 100 pixels. Okay, and also a background color of black. How would we do that? Well, we could do it traditionally by adding style and background color black, etc. Okay, one by one, or we could add IDs and let's say blah, 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 and add the ID here in the CSS or in the style block. But this would be really bad for multiple for multiple elements, since we would have to type the same stuff over and over again. That's why HTML has us covered once more, because classes exist. So what is a class? Well, a class is pretty much a category we create to give the same form or style or editing to a team of HTML elements. For example, go ahead and alt click all these and add a class, and let's say potato class. Okay, I want you to go ahead and copy this, come here and type dot and the name of the class. We use a hash and the name of an ID to access IDs in HTML through CSS, okay? Instead of a hash, we use a simple dot before the name of the class to access a whole class. Okay, so if we now go and set a background color of black and in here, and inherit the width of its parent, which is d3, of their parent actually, because there are many, and set a height of 100 pixels, or actually let's go ahead and do 50 pixels. What we're gonna get is this. Okay, I forgot to save the HTML. What we just got was 5 elements that we cannot actually understand that these are 5 elements, because there is no space in between. So let's go ahead and add some space. So margin bottom, let's say 5 pixels. Refresh. I'm sorry for this, guys. Okay, now we can tell the difference. What we got is 5 elements with the exact same width, which is inherited by their parent, which is the div with an ID of d3, the red column, with the exact same height and the exact same background color. Okay, and this is because they belong to the same class. Okay, so let's say we want to add some text. Let's say potato, tomato, carrot, um, lettuce. Did I spell this correctly? I think I did. And let's go ahead and add chicken. Let's make this the black sheep. Go ahead, save and refresh. Of course, you cannot see the letters because they are black. Okay, go ahead inside our class and say color to change the color of the text, and let's set it to white or whatever you want. Just make sure you can read the letters. Also, go ahead and change the text alignment to center and refresh. Okay, now this is much better. Well, let's say now that we want to what do we want to do? Let's say we want to change the formatting of this text. We have already changed it to be white and to align in the center. Let's say we wanted to have a font different of what we have inside the rest of the body. Then we would have to go ahead, type in font family, and type in, let's say, Times New Roman. Save, refresh, and there you have it. This is Times New Roman. Also, we could increase the size of the font, let's say 200%. I'm not sure if it would fit. Yep, it does fit. Okay, so as you can see, we only typed inside our CSS file everything we wanted for each one of the divs of the elements once, and it applied to every single one of them that has a class of potato class. Okay, but what if we try to apply this rule to a different div? Okay, well, you can have come on, I got a brain lag. Why do I get brain lags? You can have different HTML elements with the same class. Okay, for example, let's say we want this paragraph to belong to this class as well, just like these divs in here and the middle div that contains the images. As you can see, the background turned black, etc. Go in here, copy class potato class, and paste it inside the P element. And there you have it. The text is white, it's aligned in the middle, the background is black, the width is inherited by the parent. Okay, pay attention to this. This is the width of the body and the paragraph as well. It has successfully inherited the width of its parent, and it's got the same exact rules as these fellas right here. So it does not matter whether that those are divs and that this div is different and that this is a paragraph. You can have as many different HTML elements as you like under the same class. Also, you can add extra styling to this paragraph or to any HTML element by using an ID. You can combine IDs with classes. Okay? Just like here, we both have an ID and a class, and it inherited both this style, these styles, and these styles. Okay? So let's go ahead and delete everything inside the body. Well, except actually delete everything, change this to classes and IDs, copy and paste here. Add a new paragraph, type in, let's say this is normal text. Now add a span, this is different text. Go outside the span and type this is normal text. Okay, I want you to add another paragraph. Add the sky is blue or whatever. The sea is also blue. Now add a span and in here type the trees are green. I want you to go to click here actually and alt click here as well so that you can type in the same time. You already know how to do it. Go ahead and type class equals potato. Okay, copy potato, delete all that stuff since we do not need it. Type has potato, and in here I want you to set the background color to black and the text color to green. Okay, now I want you to go here and refresh. And before you refresh, I want you to save the HTML file or you're gonna get this. Okay, I also want you to go here and change khaki to dark gray. Save, refresh, or anything dark. Did we do anything wrong? Yep, we did. This should be a dot because we are referring to a class and not an ID. So if you surpass all 5 or however many mistakes I made, you will get this. Okay, check this out. We got a couple paragraphs with each one of the with one span in each one of them, and both spans are under a class of potato, and this is what we get. Okay, this text and this text is not affected, same as this, but the text under the span with the class potato has a different style. Okay, so let's say that you do not like embrace or whatever. Let's say you want to embrace that to emphasize that the sea is blue. Okay, but you do not like the way that this is emphasized. Let's say you want to create your own style. With span is how you will do it. You will add a span with a class, name it whatever you want, potato, dodgy, spaceship, or whatever you want, and add your style in here. And whenever you want to emphasize some text, you add a span of this class. Okay, so this is how you edit multiple parts of text with the same in the same way. Okay, now let's go back to IDs. Let's delete. Actually, I'm not going to delete this. I'm going to keep them. And I'm going to add a couple more paragraphs. Actually, and add a class in actually, let me teach you that. In order to create, let's say, to create an element without having to type its class afterwards, just go ahead, type the element. I'm talking about Visual Studio Code, of course. Type the element, type a dot, and then type the name of the class. Let's say carrot. If you hit enter, you will get the element you wanted with the class you typed after the dot. Let's say you want to do the same thing, create an element, but this time with an ID. Instead of a dot, use a hash and let's say apple. If you hit enter, you will have the element you wanted with the ID you typed after the hash. Okay? So this stuff is great and it will save a lot of time later on. Let's go ahead and create, let's say, maybe a couple paragraphs. Yeah. Okay. This text is temporary. And in here type, did you see the new text or the old or the temporary? I want you to add an ID of, let's say, let's go for carrot. If you like carrots, I wouldn't say I like them, but I eat them because they are amongst the top vegetables when it comes to vitamins. Okay, so type hash and carrot here. What's wrong? Why is it underlined? Quick fix. No, why is it underlined? Okay, never mind. Let's say that we want this text right here to change as soon as the web page loads on the browser. Okay? If we now refresh, you're gonna see this right here. But what if I told you we can use JavaScript to change this text as long as the browser loads our HTML page, our HTML file? Go ahead and type script. Inside script, you can type in many different languages, but the default in HTML is JavaScript. Okay? So, let's go ahead and add a function to run as soon as the web page loads. Go ahead and type function. Sorry. Let's call it my function. And in here, I want you to type the following. Type document to access this very document. Dot get element by ID to find an HTML element inside the document. Okay, what we're doing here is access the document and search for an item according to its ID. In here, of course, we enter the ID, which is carrot, and then we're going to tell the browser to change its inner HTML and set it to why not hello world. Let's say I am the new text. Okay, go ahead and add a semicolon because this is how you code in JavaScript. Save and refresh. Nothing happens. Why? Because we did not call this function. So how do we call this function right here? How do we make this line of code run inside my function as soon as the page starts? Okay, normally we would add a button and link it to the function, and whenever the user clicks the button, this line of code would run. But we can simply call the function, since this line of code is going to run when the page loads, and this function is going to run automatically, and this text is going to change to I'm the new text. So let's go ahead, refresh, and hopefully this will change to the I'm the new text. And yep, it did. It changed to I'm the new text. If I mark this out as a comment and save, the text will remain as it was. Okay, so be careful. This right here is the line of code which calls the actual function. This will not run by itself. Okay, so what else do we have? I believe this is pretty much it, guys. Well, except get element by D, you can do document.getElements by class name, and in here type, for example, potato, and create like a table, a variable table, and parse all this with a for loop. But this is kind of too much for now. I'm going to be creating a new tutorial series, another tutorial series about JavaScript, and you do not really have to learn all that stuff now. Okay, so remember, you can use the same class on many different HTML elements. You can access inside JavaScript an HTML element through getElement by ID using its ID, or you can access multiple elements using their class and then just parse them through a for loop. And what else? Also set a class to a span or div and use it on several occasions for the same reason. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you on the next video.